So the WNBA season starts on Friday.
Yeah, it does. Woo!
Very excited for this one. First, I want to ask you a question as someone that also does like W content, people, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we go an entire preseason? And why do we continue to go preseasons without being able to watch games? Why is that a thing?
Because you need to call your local cable provider and let them know you want your WNBA games in your market. Where are you, Charlotte?
Yes.
You want some Atlanta Dream games in your market. This is where there's a couple things happening in our country that I think are beautiful, and the conversation's great, but we're not moving as fast as we think we are. This is one of those things to me in terms of the investment. And to be fair, like right now, the W's up against the opening round of the playoffs that were fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're talking linear, where was it going to go is a legitimate question. And yeah, sure, there are some windows, but again, is there enough buy-in in terms of folks that make the decisions to put it on? Mm-hmm. And I just don't know. Like, we're making progress, but games weren't on, so maybe we're not there yet. I think the Twitter partnership stuff, all of that is very interesting, but it's a funny time in the sports calendar. And so many roster cuts have happened. Like, there's the vets typically, at least in my experience, and I might be wrong this year, but the vets aren't, the vets are a lot of times the driving names in the WNBA. And preseason games for vets are hit or miss a lot of times because women are still coming back from their teams overseas.
Yeah.
So like there's a whole bunch of like logical numbers, statistical driven stuff, the questions on that end. But to me, it's just, we're just not there yet as a country overall.
Okay. Those are all valid points. I guess for me, like I'm not expecting like Fever Sun to be on ESPN2 during the preseason. But like it's weird to see the Seattle Storm tweet out, "Hey, this game's starting. We're not streaming it anywhere." I'm just like, y'all can't put that on SeattleStorm.com. Like nobody is is nobody recording this? Like how is?
Well, a lot of some of the games are like the middle of the day too. Like there's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not. If you have a 9 to 5, you may or may not be able to watch on your lunch break. You know. But I'm with you. There seems like there's all of the ways that we consume content. Somebody should have been on somewhere. Like, I agree with
you. Yeah, like give me the shot clock camera or something. Like, again, I don't know the logistics of it, so I'm genuinely asking. But it is weird to me. Like, I feel like that's a very simple way to garner some interest heading into your season. Like, we should be able to see something. Like, we should be able to watch it through the app at the very least.
This is where I remind you, though, that you are a true hoophead. And there is you know what I'm saying? Like, you would watch that or turn it on. But there's always an ongoing conversation around the W between how you provide for fans that are true blue, been rolling with you for 26 years, and how you bring in a new audience. I don't know that the return between true blue fans that are working during the day and new audience, if you don't have the opportunity to put the marketing around the preseason games, are the new audiences going to casually, I'll be like, hey, let me watch this. So just, there's a lot to juggle there.
That's fair.
That was an interesting point with the rosters, though, because it's a different ball game. Mm-hmm. It's a different build, and you got a lot of people fighting to like stick around, getting minutes.
It's been particularly rough this year.
Yeah, it's so it's like, I don't know, how do you sell the investment in someone that might not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's to that point, like, I don't think Breonna Stewart's playing like 34 minutes in a preseason game. So, like, even with that, you're not going to see that. And then some of the fan favorites are getting cut. While we're on the cuts, Crystal Dangerfield is a free agent now. Like, what is happening with some of these cuts?
Bro, I just pulled up my girl Christina Williams' page, Girls Talk Sports TV, on the Instagram because she's on top of all of this.
Yes.
There's just the spots. Like, I don't know what to say about that.
It's just unfortunate. / we need maybe
now. There's always some of the more unique stories in the WNBA, and why can I not think of my girl's name? She played for the Mystics. Then she went to Seattle. She hit the dagger shot versus the Mystics. Shea Petty. is one of those really cool stories, you know, been cut, bounced back, finally found a way. But like, it takes a minute sometimes for an opportunity to present itself for some names that we loved at different points. Like Maisha Hines Allen did not play for the Mystics. Like her first, I know her rookie season for sure, and I'm not sure how much time she got her second year. But when they got injuries, she emerges as this force in the W because she's given an opportunity. It's just that tough. And like, I don't know if people really grasp that. Like, you got top draft, Alyssa Cunane, like big time draft pick, like not so much gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? And so it takes a lot of fortitude to navigate, survive that curve, and stick.
It's tough. I can't wait for the league to get to a place to where we get the expansion. Like, I think we need 2 more teams at least. And as soon as it's financially feasible, like that needs to happen. There's too much talent out
here. So I've talked to different players, folks close to the league. I'm sort of torn on the expansion right now. The Fever won less than 5 games last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, until the top to bottom is robust, I don't know about expansion just yet. And I know W fans might not love to hear that, because you want more than anything, maybe you expand the roster space, mess with the cap. I don't know if I'm ready. If for the sake of competitiveness, I don't know that an entire new team or 2 is the answer per se.
Okay, I got you on that. But I didn't think of it from that standpoint. But I guess with the Fever, is that how much of that is talent and how much of that is just like the front office?
Front office, yeah. That's a fair question. But if let me see, let me pull up my standings. Like, they weren't the only team that struggled. You know what I'm saying?
Like even with all of the mess that the Dream went through last year, like they had talent on the roster at the very least.
Yeah. And that's a fair question. I think there's a combination of that. That's like I said, it's a fair question. But I still think I'm just not sold on expansion just yet, personally.
Okay, I got you. Steve, where are you on the expansion?
Biased to bring the WNBA back to Portland.
Lit.
I see.
I would like to see. It's wild to me that the Houston Comets are not a thing. And correct me, I'm sorry, I was wrong. The Fever won 6 games last year.
See, there we go. The hashtag.
But I mean, so like, but if we look at it, so they won 6, Atlanta won 8. You had 1, 2, 3 teams that won 12. And then, of course, Connecticut and Vegas are at the top of the pile with the best records of 26 wins and 24 wins, respectively. And some teams, you're right. Some teams are just going to have better coaches, better front offices than others. I don't know. I struggle with expansion a little bit right now. Should it happen? Yes. Right this second? No, I think you need a little bit of a better plan.
Okay, I got you. If/when we do get expansion, like what markets would you want to see get a team first?
I like the idea of Charlotte. I think Charlotte's a great city. It's wild to me that Houston as a franchise just doesn't exist anymore. All the history there, and I don't know if you expand and automatically give them the Houston Comets history, but that was a team that I loved as a little girl. I think the Bay Area would be cool. Mm-hmm. Those are probably my top 3.
All right, I got you. So, Steve, aside from Portland, what spots would you be looking at?
That's the only one for me. Sorry.
All right. Well, I appreciate
honest.
The agenda, it rolls on.
All right. I can't hate on that. All right, Monica, what storylines are you looking forward to the most for this season? What are you keying in on?
So my hometown team, I'm curious because Elena Delle Donne and Alicia Clark are supposed to be returning to action this year. Mm-hmm. Alicia Clark is I believe she won 2 championships in Seattle. I know she won at least 1. And then obviously Elena Del Don is an MVP gold medalist, the whole bit. Those two, those two certainly changed the complexion of a franchise. I'm curious about the Fever. And I know we got to see who all sticks once we get through the final cuts, but they had Nalissa Smith, Queen Egbo, Lexi Hall, my girl from Louisville, Emily Engstler, and they picked up Destiny Henderson in the second round. So they have 5, 4 first-round draft picks, Destiny Henderson in the 5th. But again, we talk about the nature of this league being such an incredible beast. So what does that look like in their final roster spots? Courtney Williams is back in Connecticut, which I think is a really cool reunion. She was a part of that team that made it to the finals and fell to the Washington Mystics. Mm-hmm. The New York Liberty, do they take another step under Sandy Brondello? But Najalani obviously was tremendous last year.
Steve, this is beautiful.
No, I love, like, these are all things I'm super excited about. Chicago, essentially, Diamond's not there, and Stephanie, like, but what is Chicago's? Yeah, who's very good. Like, because she played in the Belgian national team. We had so much fun calling those games during the Olympics too. Chicago, what's the run it back opportunity there? And then I think Seattle, like Sue Bird, she hasn't announced it, but let's say this is the last one. What's the urgency there? And obviously she's got plenty of talent around her. I was curious if Minnesota would kind of be spurred as well by Sylvia Fowles announcing that year 15 would be it for her. But Nafisa Collier, I believe, is having a baby soon and probably will miss this season, and that's going to be a big deal.
Yes.
And then at Dallas, like Dallas was the team that I thought people were kind of sleeping on last year, and they showed some spurts, you know what I'm saying, where they could be dangerous. I really love what Vicky Johnson is doing down there. Never too many guards. Like, let's just roll the ball out and let's rock. Let's see what happens.
I respect it. I'll let you go, Steve, before I hop on my soapbox. I think you know where I'm going to go.
I know exactly where you're going. I was just going to ask, like, are people sleeping on the Sky? Like, I know they lost pieces, but they also added a key piece, and they're pretty good.
What's their key piece? Tell me, Steve.
I just love the Meisman addition.
Yeah.
To what they already have. That's a lot of versatility, and that was a team that thrived on that. So I think that's sneaking under the radar.
I don't think sleeping on Chicago, I think, would be wild. They're the defending champs, and the core is intact, right? Candace, Quiggs, Salute, and Kalia Copper. So sleeping on them would be wild. And James Wade is a terrific coach. Now, Meisman, obviously, when she was with the Mystics, front row seat to how dynamic she is. Mm-hmm. I would say maybe people might be sleeping on her addition, but I think it would be foolish to sleep on this guy in total because they returned 4 of the, like, you know what I'm saying, 4 of the core.
I guess the counter there would be like on the NBA side, like so many people stuff on Milwaukee coming into the year, but that's a whole nother thing to get on the soapbox about.
Is that really a thing? Okay, all right.
Are you doing the argument thing where someone just says something and you just agree with it, like Steph Curry can't shoot? Are you doing that?
No, I'm not. I am no. It's never going to be that far. But also, it just turned into Phoenix and Milwaukee just getting a bunch of breaks last year. It's like, did we not just watch how good they were? It's fine. Anyway,
give me your clear out. What is it, Aces or what? You going Sparks? Where are you going?
What's happening?
I will say on the Sparks front, I am very excited to watch Kennedy Carter play basketball. I want to see how long the bench role lasts for her because she's very, very, very good. But yeah, I'm ready to see the Aces. I am ready to see what the offense is going to look like. I am ready for Becky Hammond to open things up for Asia Wilson. I'm ready for this team to take threes. I am ready for this team to, they actually rank pretty high in pace, but like I want to see them get into the actions a little bit quicker. I'm just excited about what this new look team is going to look like.
I really can't wait till they run flex first possession.
We love a good flex.
All this hype for a turn 5 post up. What you gonna do?
I'm not gonna hold you in the guys. I was like, oh, did you think that? Okay, last year, yeah, it could be a little clunky if Liz and Asia were on the floor together, but like, okay, I don't know that. I mean, I'm curious to see what Becky Hammond looks like as a head coach, but I mean, the Aces where they get to the semifinals last year?
Yes, and then they just could not defend the Mercury. It was
that was wild times.
Not a great time. It's just a barrage of pull-up threes. And
that was tough.
Yeah, let's dump it to Liz though. So it's fine. It is fine.
It is fine.
Mad, you know,
you are not mad. You are working through it. New season, new look, new coach. Yeah, woo.
Go. Mark Davis out here paying people like, you know, it's a whole vibe in Vegas right now.
Mm-hmm.
Great time for everyone. Also,
I can't wait to
gonna look like in Atlanta.
What happened?
Ryan Howard. I'm ready to see.
Ryan's such a sweetheart. Yeah, I'm excited to see too. I'm excited for Tanisha Wright. That's actually a good call. Another former WNBA player takes the reins as a head coach in Atlanta. She actually assistant coach to Bill Laimbeer, the Las Vegas Aces last year. So what does that look like in Atlanta? Mm-hmm. I think Mo Billings is wonderful. I think she's got a very bright future in this league. We getting late. I'm sorry, y'all, with these yawns now, child. I gotta go watch film. We talked about this at the top of the podcast.
We were recording late on a Thursday night.
Yeah, that's what you said. I was gonna be glazed over. Yeah, what's up?
How the turntables.
Nekias challenged us at the beginning of the show that we didn't do enough basketball on our day off. So
that's true. That's right. The grind wasn't real.
That is not what I said.
Basketball never sleeps. Anywho, no, Atlanta. Listen, I'm excited for the W season in general. I think there's a lot of. I don't want to use the word young because they're not young, but there are that second tier group of talent that's ready to take a leap. Like we saw from Bernard Jelani last year, Kalia Copper emerging in the finals in a big way. I think there are names that we know when you think of Sue, Diana still in action, Candace, Sylvia Fowles. Like there's a lot of those double-digit vets that we know and rely on, but like an Asia Wilson, who's been an MVP in the league, I think we're starting to get into that top tier or that second tier, really starting to ascend. It's wild to think that Brianna Stewart would be considered like a second tier, but I'm just talking about in terms of age. So I think we're in a great place. I think some folks are going to emerge. I'm excited to see what Minnesota got going on. There's a lot of teams that I'm really just excited to see what they put out there.
Is there a sleeper? Someone that may make the move?
Going in to like, as I was starting to get ready for stuff this week, I said Minnesota was sort of my sleeper, but I'm not sure. Like in my mind, Nekias was coming back at some point. I thought she had the baby already. I'm not sure that she has. So I thought you would get her for a good chunk of the season. If she's not there, that's a little bit of a shift.
Yeah, that would throw some things off. Like Odyssey Sims not doing it for you.
Just different positions. That's all. Just different positions.
Yeah. They're gonna carry it a little. Sylvia Fowles being this good still on both ends is incredible. I'm ready to see what the Swan Song's gonna look like for her.
Absolutely incredible. I'm with you on that. Like absolutely incredible. It's wild too because she's just been so steady over the course of her career. It's not a lot of drop off. Fortunate not to have to battle a ton of injuries. But like and she's so sweet. She's so cool. Like Syl's amazing. So I hope that she gets everything she desires out of this season. And let's get it.
There we go. I think on the sleeper front, like you already named them a little bit earlier. Like I would keep an eye on Dallas. Like they do have they have their star in Enrique. And they just have a lot of young talent there. If they're able to figure out some rotation stuff, particularly in the front court, like I'm intrigued by what they can do.
Yeah. They play fast. Like I love that. I love a team that plays fast.
Steve, who is your sleeper? Are you going with the Liberty?
Come on. You know exactly where it is. I'm doubling down. It's Liberty season. And they got Dolson. Come on.
I'm not mad at that.
Come on. I'm gonna be right this time.
I respect it. I respect it. What steps do you see Sabrina making this season? Very injury plagued season last year.
I'm curious. I don't know what her off season has been like in terms of her body. It's no doubt in my mind that Sabrina has the IQ and the acumen. But WNBA is a league of grown women. Like, you know what I mean? And so I think in year 3, the physicality, you're a little bit adjusted. Hopefully she can stay healthier. Hold on one second. Hey, gang. Hi, I'm finishing the podcast. All right. Okay, what's happening? Am I back? Did I lose you?
Yeah, we here.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. The physicality for Sabrina, I think in year 3, she's well adjusted and ready to rock and roll in that sense. That's what I would anticipate. And then, Sandy Rondello has worked with, she's Skylar Diggins' coach, Diana Taurasi's coach. Like, she's worked with some really legit guards in this league. So what does she cook up schematically there? And then by no means do I believe that Betnijah Laney's season was a flash in the pan. I think she's a legit star in this league. So what steps do they take together? As people obviously game plan for them a little differently now.
All right, I got you. And to close things out, who's your way too early finals pick? Who do you have winning it? We're putting you on the spot. Absolutely.
I'm going to go with avenging the heartbreak of the last couple of years in Las Vegas.
Friend of the podcast, Monica McNutt. Yes, sir. That is all we needed. Thank you for listening to this episode. No, I'm kidding. Steve, who
I was about to say, wait a minute. What? Just go.
I just honestly got to just pull that out of my back pocket because it could go so many ways. I mean, think about it. Last year, Chicago was like down. Then they got healthy and they made a run. Like, yeah. It could go so many ways. Now, in terms of experience and kind of being chiseled as a squad, Vegas has been really good the past couple of years. It just can't get over the hump. Like, do these changes allow them to get over the hump? But in the same breath, like, Seattle is healthy. Like, Gabby Williams is out there. Stewie's still out there. Like, if the Mystics have Deladon and Alicia Clark back, like, what? Like, come on. So it's wide open. I mean, the Connecticut Sun, like, that was a team with the best record last year, and they returned their core plus some folks that were sort of special in their runner-up season in 2019. Mm-hmm. This thing could go a lot of ways. It's gonna be great.
Who you got, Steve?
Seattle.
All right.
Boo.
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you slandering Sue Bird again?
No.
Is what we doing?
No.
All right, man. Outro the pod, man. Come on.
What do you?
Oh no.
Breanna Stewart is great. Glad they were able to get Jewel Lloyd back. Like, it was they are a really good team. Enzima Becker is going to have a fantastic season while Mercedes Russell is out. It's a lot of talent in Seattle. I understand. Aces are winning it all. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Dunker Spot. If you have not already, please subscribe to us. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you get your pods. You can find us. You can find me on Twitter at Nekias NBA. You can find Steve on Twitter at SteveJones20. Monica, where can the people find you on Twitter?
The Twitter streets at McNutt Monica. It's great.
There we go. And with that, we will catch y'all next week.
Bye, guys.